Hi, I'm Sage and I'm new here, and I really like Heroes of Jujutsu a lot. And something that I also really like are commentary videos about people's OCs. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. And as someone who loves info dumping on my OCs to my family and friends, finding out that it's a whole genre of videos that people like watching, I found this as a perfect opportunity to give my channel a little boost. Even if it flops, it'll still be a really fun process for me. So in today's video, I'm going to be info dumping about the series that I am working on called the Deep QC Purge, which is basically a rewrite of episode 9 of Heroes of Jujutsu Going Under. Also, before we start, I do want to thank Jupiter for giving me this idea. I love her videos, I recommend you go check them out. The reason why I'm calling her Jupiter is because that's what her name is in English, because it's in Arabic, and I do not know how to pronounce it, so sorry. But yeah, I just want to give you a huge thank you before I start the video. And yeah, with that said, go find your comfort spot, sit back, relax, grab a drink, go use the bathroom, and enjoy the show. Now before I start, I just want to give a little disclaimer that most of these OCs aren't actually mine. I just remixed them to the point where they kind of treat them like my OCs. So yeah, MooseToys, please don't sue me, but yeah. So if you notice a bit of a difference in the audio quality, I was recording in my bathroom for the first for the intro, but now that I'm in my quiet room with my microphone, I sound a little bit better. So hopefully we can keep that, but if things get a little out of hand, I might have to go back and see the bathroom audio quality. But yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind it, and now we can officially start this video. For our first character, I'll be talking about my favorite character from the entire Heroes of Jujutsu series, King Hydra. You guys probably know that by now, but he's going to come up a lot more often in the channel. Now for him, instead of giving him one body with 3 heads, I decided to separate them and to make them triplets because I feel that it will give them more personality, and I feel it's just better that way when it comes to the story. So to start us off, we are going to start with the middle head. Now for the middle head, I named him Lysander, which means liberator in Greek, perfectly reflecting his role as a king. He is the oldest of his brothers, therefore the one shouldering the most responsibility. Lysander deeply cares about the residents of Gulantis, and genuinely wants to do what's best for them. Despite this, he does have days where this can prove to be a challenge. Lysander has bipolar disorder, and his condition can make it really hard for him to rule and make proper decisions. For example, during his mania phase, he might make risky decisions without letting the council know beforehand. For example, starting costly building projects and giving up on the production, wasting resources. Nearing the end of his mania phase, he can also experience unexpected outbursts of rage, blowing up on any unsuspecting person. On the contrary, during his depression phases, he won't take his responsibility seriously, letting things slide more than he should, causing utter chaos in the kingdom. He is able to suppress it through medications, so extreme occurrences like these happen occasionally. For our next victim I may know see, we have Alex. Alex is the middle child of the Hydra brothers. As for his name, Alex is short for Alexandros, which means warrior in Greek, going along with his warrior-like personality. Alex is known to be a bit more aggressive and socially isolated than his brothers. He also often acts before he thinks, which can be both good and bad, but mostly bad. Alex was a reckless child, often getting himself into physical trouble, and injuring himself on numerous occasions. In fact, the reason why he has that edgy scar on his lip is because when he was a child, he had accidentally dropped a vase on his head. I'm not sure how he did it, but he somehow did. A little piece of random lore I want to add is that when Alex was from the ages of 4 to about 11, he had this weird obsession with anything breakable, glass, seashells, ceramics, you name it. Fortunately, it was a phase. But as an adult, Alex is now perceived as socially withdrawn and quiet, as he often prefers to keep things to himself. Alex also has a really intense interest for corals and can name any coral just by looking at it. Despite his interesting nature, his brothers and the kingdom still appreciate what he does and still love him for who he is. Last but certainly not least, we have Evander, the youngest of the Hydra brothers. As for his name, Evander means good man in Greek, going along with his noble nature and deep admiration for Lysander as king. Unlike a certain somebody mentioned earlier, Evander prefers to keep the peace, keeping the violence at a maximum of 0, if possible. Despite this, if anyone tries to disrespect his brothers, a knuckle sandwich is guaranteed from Evander. Evander is also very good at providing comic relief during intense situations, and knows how to crack a good joke when the time is right. But in classic little brother fashion, Evander can prove to be a bit immature sometimes, in which loving counsel will be needed from his brothers, one of them being a bit more direct and not so nice about it than the other. I'm going to be a little biased here, and overall, I think Evander is definitely one of my favorites because of how much of a silly goober he can be. For our next character, who is actually an OC I made, we have Queen Coralyn, the wife of Lysander. As for her name, I kind of just made it up on the spot because I wanted her name to be sea related, and I wasn't thinking too much about the Greek origins. Coralyn has a very kind and patient personality, and provides an emotional anchor for Lysander. While Lysander handles the more brute force aspect of the kingdom by physically protecting them, Queen Coralyn focuses more on the emotional aspect, taking care of the residents' well-being. Earlier in recording, I actually mentioned this, but I accidentally deleted it, so I'm going to mention it right now. For the series, I really wanted to tap into the Greek aspect of it because Atlantis is just a Gujitsu version of Atlantis, and I wanted to, bring up the Greek heritage of it. So I decided to tune in on that for their marriage. In ancient Greece, marriages between royal couples were seen more as business deals than vows of love. Usually the reason being tying two kingdoms together, which was the reason why they got married. It was arranged by their parents, so they didn't have much of a say when it came to who they were going to marry. With Lysander, he immediately fell in love with her, both on the outside and the inside, especially appreciating her patient personality. As a Coralyn, it took her a bit longer to get used to Lysander, especially adjusting to his constant shifting moods. Eventually, she did fall for him and was able to find that common ground in their marriage. For our final main character of the series, we have Hammerhead, Lysander's most trusted attendant. I do plan on changing his name because I feel that his canon name, Hammerhead, I feel that's just too plain and it doesn't have any personality to it, and I feel that MooseToys just didn't think too much about it when naming him. In the show, Hammerhead has a very important role in the kingdom, being Lysander's most trusted attendant, which I kept in the headcanon. Also in the show, Hammerhead does turn on him by revealing himself to be the secret wilder. I definitely wanted to keep this trope in the story, so that's the whole reason why I'm rewriting it. Because MooseToys didn't do a very great job while writing it, because again, the show is a marketing tactic and it didn't really put too much thought into it. In my version, the reason why Hammerhead wants to dethrone the king in the first place is to quote-unquote purify the kingdom, which is also a canon thing he said, but to get a deeper meaning, I wanted to tune in into more of Lysander's bipolar disorder as being part of the reason. In his mind, Hammerhead feels that Lysander is incapable of ruling, and that the kingdom falls into shambles too often to function well, which is why Hammerhead thinks he'll be the better ruler. I also changed the colors of his outfit because in his canon design, he looks way too villainous for his good guy persona. A little hint I dropped in the art is that in the canon show, the good guys have white eyes and the bad guys have yellow eyes. And throughout Hammerhead's entire appearance, he has yellow eyes. Again, making it too obvious that he's the bad guy. So for his new design, I decided to give him white eyes for his first half of the appearance as him playing the good guy, and then when he reveals himself to be the bad guy, his eyes will turn yellow. Because you know what they say, the eyes don't lie. So if you ever wanted to know if Hammerhead was thinking of something, just look at his eyes. If they turn the slightest hint of yellow, you might be in trouble. And that's the end of this video. I'm so done recording and I'm so tired of it, and I'm so happy I got it over with. If you enjoyed this video, then good for you, because I'm not going to make you subscribe, because I personally find that very annoying. But if you want to, out of the kindness of your heart, then go right ahead. My winter break is ending soon, unfortunately, so I'll post less. Anyways, I'm done yapping, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!